Got your college football coming at you 3 o'clock. We'll talk Michigan. We'll talk Michigan State as both schools have a lot going on for Michigan. Quarterback stuff for Michigan State. It's a big game at UW that I'm terrified of. So I want to start with this. I want to put a capper on the Lions stuff. Because towards the end of the show, CBS wrote a piece. And look, this is part of the art form of writing or the art form of radio. You can convince people. You can collect numbers, present them in a specific way, and shape a narrative. It's how it is. So I want to read 2 paragraphs because you know how upset I am about what happened Sunday and how I said a lot of this stuff just looked like last year. Let me put numbers to this. And I want to have a conversation with you, the people. Dan Campbell was on with Stoney and Jansen this morning saying, no, we're not going to talk about wins. We're going to talk about getting better. Well, good for you. CBS Sports wrote the following. The Lions fooled fans again with a fake comeback. That's them, not me. The Lions lost another close game in the Dan Campbell era, but was it actually close? The Lions have become kings of the faux close backdoor cover game. And it happened again Sunday, 38-35 loss to the Eagles. Even though they made it a 3-point game, they trailed by 17 in the fourth and never had a possession in the fourth quarter where they could have tied or taken the lead. And that's a critical point. And Rico always does a good job of this. It's not Rico hating, it's Rico being factual. If you don't have the football with a chance to tie, much less take the lead, how close was that game? So, here's where it gets interesting. CBS writes, Detroit is now 3-14-1 under Dan Campbell, and Jared Goff taking a majority of those snaps. Last season, they went 2-6-1 in games decided by 8 or less. And in 9 games, represented 1 more than the league average. The 2021 to present Lions, ready for this? They have never won while trailing by more than 1 score in the second half. Think about that. They have never won a game where they trailed by more than a score. So this idea of competing, the comebacks, making it close, if this, but that, maybe this, next time, never. Trailing by 9, never. 10, never. The Lions are 0-12 in games where they have trailed by at least 9 in the second half. Now, before many of you go, yeah, well, it's hard to win those games. No one's arguing, but they've never done it. So here's my point. You hear all those numbers. I want to know, Rico, and Metro Detroit, if we can agree that Sunday wasn't different. Can we agree on that? That for all the optimism I have for this team, mismanaged the clock, ill-timed onside kick, and Dan Campbell's Lions is the same in a new wrapper. That, hey man, every chance in the NFL, every week, you get a chance to rewrite your story. That's the beauty of it. But I'm saying as we sit here right now, are many people in this town giving them false credit for what they did and didn't do Sunday? Because I'll tell you, when CBS has a headline on a piece that says faux feisty Lions and they put data behind it. And here's the other thing. People, you may laugh at this, but Dan Campbell as the coach is 3-14-1. You start to add these things up, and all of a sudden, you know, if you're sitting there and your coach is 5-20, guys, you just get to a point where it is or it isn't going to work. So, yeah, the Commanders game is vital. Yes, we will forget about this past weekend when they kick off on Sunday, but I had to ask you, Rico, and I wanted to ask people, 248-539-9797. I mean, is it fair to just call that a fake comeback? Is it fair to say that that's no different than what we saw last year?
It's no different than what you saw last year, Mike. It's no different than what you've seen just from the whole stat Padford years.
Stick to Dan Campbell.
Okay.
It's important.
Okay.
We stick to Dan Campbell.
Okay, fine. I'll throw a flag on myself. False start. But yes, it does. It gives the false sense of we're so close. We just got to make this one more play and we'll get over the hump. When you really weren't in the game, and a lot of times, when teams get up, it's human nature. I don't think they respect the Lions the way they will respect other teams. If the Eagles were playing the Chiefs, they keep their foot on the gas. But you saw it last year with the Niners. And they were up, I don't know about how much. They were taking showers, getting their boarding passes on the phone, and then all of a sudden the Lions mounted that comeback, and they're like, wait a minute, is this for real? And I think you saw the same with the Eagles where, at one point it was 31-13, and then it got close, but you couldn't make those stops. But, I didn't realize that anytime they are 9 points behind 9 points or more, they've never.
Right, so they're all fake. And when you realize they never had the ball with a chance to tie or take the lead, that kind of just ends any discussion of, well, they tried hard. I don't want to hear it anymore. Look, yesterday's show was all about the time for moral victories is over. Dan Campbell can say whatever he wants to say. Look, last weekend, Steve Sarkisian said that Texas didn't lose. They just ran out of time. Coaches say all kinds of things. Dan Campbell can come on our morning show, and he can say, we're not even going to go there about wins and losses. We're just going to tell our guys, try to get better. You do whatever you tell yourself and tell your team whatever you need to tell them. The reality is they have to start winning games, or this thing will never get off the ground, ever. I don't want to hear about well, he has a 6-year contract. I don't care. Nebraska's paying 4 coaches. They're probably paying Bob Devaney.
Contracts are made to be broken.
Right, my point is, they have to begin winning games. Otherwise, you're not showing your players anything different. And Dan Campbell, I have said this from Jump Street. I don't have to like his style to respect it. But the one problem with the way he does things, his words, the more that they lose, become absolutely hollow. Hollow.
Yeah.
Kneecaps, grit, we're tougher than you, we're going to outwork you. And it's like, cool, well, here's what the stats say.
Yeah.
Because you've never overcome a 9-point deficit. You never had the ball with a chance to tie or win, and it's a bunch of fake comebacks.
Yeah. When you win, you can get away with the grit and all of that stuff. It becomes cute. People embrace it. When you don't, then, after a while, it's like, hey, Dan, can you just get out there and get a fourth-quarter comeback? That's what good teams do.
Or better yet, don't require a comeback.
No, but it's the NFL.
I know.
You should be able to have a fourth-quarter comeback and win the game.
Oh, I'm not arguing that. What I'm saying is, would it kill them once in a while to just wire-to-wire somebody? Steelers didn't need a comeback Sunday. I'm not busting your balls. I'm saying.
No, fair.
The idea we've become comfortable with this team always being behind.
Mike, especially after the start that they had. I mean, DeAndre Swift, your godson, first carry, 50 yards.
7-0 at home. Electric playoff
with
atmosphere.
The crowd, yes.
Playoff atmosphere. And you know what they did with that? Cutscene. 24-point second quarter.
Yeah.
Now I know. Hey, at least he's not Nathaniel Hackett. More on that later. We'll get to it. But I want to know. I mean, David, the CBS piece, and we'll get to college football at 3. Am I beating a dead horse here, or do you think there's value to bringing up the CBS piece to get people's heads out of the emotion and into the data? And the reality is there are no gold stars for Sunday's performance.
Yeah, here's the thing. You just can't start like that with your first drive and then 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. You just can't have that. That can't continue to be the Lions script. Okay, you're watching a movie and it's the same movie over and over again.
Well, no, David, it's funny that you use the word script because I always look at the first drive. Those are the plays that are scripted in practice. Everybody knows what you're going to do, this, that, and the other. After that, it's more of the thinking man's game. And it showed me that the collective minds wasn't getting it done. That first drive, it looked so easy because, guys, They've been practicing that drive all week long.
It's what they did in the preseason.
Yeah.
And then fans said, oh, my gosh, look what the offense can be. You take them out because, yeah, you scripted that to see what you can do. And then you made no adjustments, no changes.
You had DeAndre Swift having probably the best game of his career. And I understand you want to keep him on that pitch count. But sometimes you know what? We may pay for this later, but we got to win this game right now. I don't really care about week 7. We need to win week 1.
248-539-9797. CBS wrote the piece. You've gotten the data. Do you agree or disagree with the premise? Because I think it validated what I was feeling yesterday. And I'm not handing out gold stars for Sunday. And I am upset that they lost. And I do think it was a fake comeback. If you don't have the ball with a chance to tie or win the game, are you really in it? Are you really in it? You're on the fringes of being in it.
It looks good on the stat sheet.
And by the way, guys, we all want this year to be different, right? Well, until or unless you actually make one of these comebacks and win one of these games, it's not different.